Well, you know what? If we're only going to get 2 out of these 6 members of the Micromaster Astro squad, then I'm glad it's these 2, since they make the shuttle and they kind of bear the name Astro. Of course, I'm talking about Fuzer, or Phaser, as G1 fans would know him, and Blast Master. And both of these little lads are going to be our focus this time around in the latest GotBot True review. Hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, man, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe while you're at it, light them up, baby. And hit that notification bell, please. It helps me out a ton, let you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, Transformers Collectors NL, the Autobot Family Transformers versus G.I. Joe versus DC Universe versus Marvel. And, of course, all of my social media links, all of that is down in the description below. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, you can check us out on Patreon, see what we offer to you through Teespring. Or, of course, you can hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. And this is what we're getting for the Astro squad. Look, I'm okay with this, honestly. I'd like to have the other members, there's no doubt. But these are definitely the 2 most important ones from that team. They are really good homages to G1. They're not perfect. Each one has their strengths. Each one has their weaknesses. So without any further ado, how about we head over to the table and take a look at both of these guys. And yes indeed, back in episode 573, we looked at the complete G1 Astro squad. And I was like, man, these are pretty fantastic. I love that because you were able to get 6 characters kind of in one pack as one team. Now they all combine. This, however, is only 2 of the members. But it's probably the 2 most interesting members. Now, traditionally, the names of these guys were Phaser and Blast Master. Phaser was the front of the shuttle and Blast Master was the back. Well, it's been slightly changed a little bit for the War for Cybertron line, with now Phaser being renamed Fuzer. I get why. I think we all get why. But before we look at the lads, let's look at the packaging first. Okay, so here's the packaging. We have the Shuttle Boys together as their shuttle form. Really, that only works if you have both of them put together. It's pretty typical packaging. If we turn this around on the back, of course, you can see, yeah, that's right. The product images is straightforward. He also comes with, or they also come with, a small set of Earthrise instructions. Like, they look fine. They're pretty good. There doesn't seem to be like one of those weird combined like blaster modes for this duo. At least it's not documented in the instructions. And I'm okay with that because I think that that's kind of an idiotic concept. Anyway, on to the boys. Now here's where things begin to get kind of tangly but kind of interesting. If we're going to look at the paint apps for these guys, we really don't have much in the way of fiction at all to reference, but what we do have is their original G1 release, as well in the case of Phaser, he did have an earlier Generations release. He is technically Flanker, and if you don't know who Flanker is, Flanker came with, I think it was, Tailgate, no, Swerve, I think. Maybe it was Swerve. I think it was Swerve. And I think that that coloration of Flanker was intended to be Phaser. It's one of those weird renaming type of things, you know? And I don't think that that use of Flanker was the intention in North America. I think that might have just been in the Japanese release. So, we're going to forever now just let Flanker be Flanker, and in terms of this guy's accuracy, we're going to say that in comparison to the G1 offering, it's pretty darn close, man. I mean, the red is where it should be, the face is colored the right way, the arms have white and black on them, the thighs should be blue. When we talk about his partner Blast Master, who is the backside of the shuttle, again, technically with Generations, Payload, who came with Cosmos, is really supposed to be a version of Blast Master. I suppose technically a version of both of these guys. But we're going to, again, reference back to the G1 version of the lad. This one's a little more stylized. Not a lot, but a little more. I wish the wings were a little less obtrusive. The thighs, again, should be kind of a blue color. And the main body, rather than being blue, should be more of like a silver grayish color. And the head being red is correct. So, In terms of the characters they're meant to be, in terms of their look, both of these guys are starting out pretty strong. I'm going to say they're a solid 9. Let's get into each one individually and start with Fuzer first. So starting off with the 9, Fuzer here is pretty good. Now, let's get into the articulation. The articulation's a little bit lacking, unfortunately. So the arms are great. They can go all the way around. They can go out to the side. They do not have an elbow or anything. The shoulder goes up and down, but that's really more for transformation. If you kind of begin to untransform the back a little bit, then the leg can go forward. It's tight and kind of uncomfortable. We do have a knee. The other leg does like to pop off the ball joint. And out to the side, only about that far. So it's not stellar articulation. It's not the worst that we've had, but it's not the best that we've had. The arms are definitely better than the legs on this guy. I'm going to say it's about a 5. It's okay. It looks good on display, but you're not going to get much in the way of dynamic poses. The transformation for the guy, pretty straightforward actually. We come back here and we pick out this section and we bring it up over his head. These angle up. The arms, they angle up and in by the body. We fold up the legs back here. And again, oh, I'm sorry, we rotate the waist. I forgot about that. He does have a waist rotation, which is nice. And then we fold up the legs. And we fold up the legs. We make sure that they are tabbed together. And then this piece comes down over the back. Obviously I need to tab a few things together, but you get the idea. I do want to point out though that you can pull a handle out here, it looks like, I suppose, if you want this to work like some sort of a blaster. I mean, if you just want them like this and these two sections back here are blasters, I guess you could. I don't think it's a good idea, but you can do it. I'm just going to get this guy solidified and pegged together. It's a little hard to do with the distance that I am from him here, and we'll look at the back end in a moment. And just getting in a little closer, you can see that the black and the white is nice. We have blue on the windows, which I think is beautiful. Very nice bright blue, actually. And we even underneath, we even have little blasters, say, underneath that are colored blue. I guess they're blasters, thrusters, I don't know. But it looks pretty good, and the way the hinge is, it almost looks like a front landing gear. I like this. I think that the transformation's a success. Again, you have to shift the shoulders, you have to twist the waist, you have to fold up the knees. Considering that this is a Micromaster, I think that that's pretty great. I'm going to say that it's a 10. The only thing lacking really is the leg articulation. He had a 9, a 5, and a 10. This is a solid 7. It's a pretty good, it's certainly not perfect, but it's a pretty good Micromaster. What about his partner? Ah, yes indeed, our boy, a Blast Master here. Look, I see why Payload would be an homage to this guy. I can see Payload in here. The 9 that started us out with Fuzer is the same thing here. He's still a 9. What about his articulation? Well, for his articulation, the arms can go out, they can go to the side. They're not going to be able to go all the way around because of the wing junk, but the wings can get back out of the way, you know, a respectable amount. The legs can come forward. I think they can go back a little bit, not a lot. You're not getting a ton out to the side here either, because really the wings kind of get in the way of getting a whole lot. Like if you get the legs out, like they can go out to the side further, but the wings sort of hinder things there a little bit. We do get not much in the way of a thigh swivel, but we do get a nice knee, so that's nice. I think the articulation, even though this guy has more kibble and junk, I think the articulation's a little bit better. I kind of wish the wings could maybe angle up ever so slightly more or something, just so it's a little easier to sort of deal with his articulation. I'm going to say his articulation is more like a 7. It is pretty good for what it is. Of course, no elbow. I don't think the head turns. I don't think this guy has a waist. Again, if he does, I'm not feeling it right now. So 7 and a 9 and 8, not bad, going into his transformation. As you'd expect, his transformation is also quite simple. You really just fold the legs all the way over. You make sure that his arms are down by his side. You bring the legs together if they're not together already. You bring up that tail fin section. And really, once you make sure that the legs are down and tabbed in, you just bring the wing pieces down. Again, it's not hard, but from this distance is a little hard for me to solidify it. I'm going to get him kind of tabbed together correctly, and then we'll see both of them put together. Okay, so now that I've got the legs solidified again, I'm just going to turn them around here for a moment, and I just want to explain two things. One, the arms do have a little tab that tabs into like the hip, the very, very upper thigh. So there is a tab that goes there. When you bring the wings down, there's a tiny tab that actually goes into the arm. You'll hear it. It's ever so slight. I find this side holds a bit better than this side does. I don't find this side likes to hold at all. Even when I put the arm in there, that's about as close as I can get it. Now, we have to put the two pieces together. And to put the two pieces together, it's pretty simple for the most part, because you're really just kind of sliding them together. There's a section right here that will go into a slot up right there. And we should be able to just put them together like that, and boom, in the end we have a nice shuttle, and it looks tremendous. Transformation on our second boy, Blast Master here. I'm gonna say, honestly, it's a 10 as well. It's simple, but it certainly does what it's supposed to do and gives us the back end of a shuttle. If you want to know what my thoughts were about the original G1, then like I said, go back and it's the episode, I think it's 573. But this guy I think is great. In terms of Fuzer at the front, I think the dude is easy, about a 7. I think the back half is the stronger one. I think that he is easy. Ooh, solid. I'm going to say 8.5. I think he's quite good. Both of them together, we had a 7, we had an 8.5. It's a 7.75 or an 8. This is a great set. I would like to have the rest of the Astro squad, but if we don't, I'll be quite happy that they opted to do the shuttle boys first. And here we are once again, and here they are. Look, I like the arm movement on Fuzer here. The hips are rough. They like to pop off. Maybe I can work them a little bit. The outward motion is really lacking. I get why. I mean, you can't expect perfection from something this small. But again, I tend to measure everything by, I don't even remember which one it was now. One of the like Air Assault team, the one that has elbows, the one Micromaster with elbows, I can't remember his name now. So I measure everything by that guy because he, as far as I'm concerned, is perfect. I love that little plain mold. It's the same mold that was used for, say, over-ear, or airwave, if you will. I like this guy, but his lower body's eh. I like this guy, but the wings are definitely obtrusive. I wish that there was a way to get the wings angled a little better out of the way. The arms move all right, the legs move all right. I think this guy moves better than this guy, even though this guy has more kibble. See, it's weird. They both have their strengths, they both have their weaknesses, and when they go together, they both make a pretty fantastic little shuttle. And for that reason, I'm happy to add these guys to my collection. Let me know what you think about these lads. Are you in for them or not? I appreciate you coming by, man. Give me some of your extremely valuable time. I do know how important it is to you if you're in a position to help the channel to grow. You can check us out on Patreon. You can see what we offer to you through Teespring. You can use the donate link, or of course you can hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. Of course, while you're at it, hit the subscribe button, stick around, man, have some fun with us. We do a lot of things around here. Don't forget that somehow, some way, each and every single day, man, you do make a difference. And I look forward, baby, to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit, either in the live streams, at the stop motion premieres, or the old-fashioned way, right here inside the videos.